My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I've got a lot of YouTubes up, Facebook and Instagram over the last almost 3 years. And the reason I'm putting this back up this morning, number one, is I did a medical malpractice book by way of telling the political part in it that they've used to just really kill me and destroy my life. But anyway, I was kidnapped in 41, and I put all this up with photos, etc., and brought to the United States. And I was taken to Moulton, Alabama, and that's not too far from Huntsville and NASA, and that all becomes part of my kidnapping. It's who I am and what I wrote about when I tried to publish a book. And I was brought, and this is the family where they put me. This is me in the middle. This horrible woman that I had to call mother. And I'm going to say this real quick because I want to get some other things up on this video. My mom was married to my dad. I was born in 39 and kidnapped in 41 by my Uncle George, the illegal six, and his daughter has never done anything other than help destroy me and use my money and take down my country, the UK, the British. That's Elizabeth Illegal II. So my kidnapping and the overthrow of my father was illegal, and I am Victoria II, legal heir to the British Crown. And I was given the name of the twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers. Peggy and Carl, the twins, born to this woman, Lina Dempsey, they were born out of wedlock. I may have said that. And the family covered it up when she killed them. I don't know how she killed Carl. He does have a birth certificate. They buried him in winter, and there was no doctor there. And Peggy, they threw to the pigs, and that's the truth. So, anyway, I was brought there. The Kennedys were in control, getting in control of Great Britain then. How about that? My mom was Irish American. I'm British. I'm the monarch, the legal monarch. How sick can all this get? And the United States hands are clean? Oh, give me a break. Anyway, everything changed after they kidnapped me, and I want to put this down. The reason I'm making this is there was some bad misdiagnosis by a Jewish doctor, and they tortured me in Huntsville. And this was between the period of 62 that they did their part, Dr. Bird and Dr. Miller. And I hope the world has to see what the good Jews did to me. I'm told by a woman that got my apartment even, and she's still living there, while me, who I am, runs around and begs for a place to live, begs for something to eat, a ride, the law to work for me. So this woman lived in '06 when I lived at Edinburgh, shortly. This is in Roanoke. Her name was Carol Rogers Simons. She told me her ex-husband was a psychiatrist in Seattle. So she told me that I'm paying for the crimes of my family. She's referring to my German family, who are the ones that did try to help me in this hell I've been through, as opposed to the Windsors. Now, I don't know, maybe some of the Windsors did, but they're part of the Freemasons, and some of them didn't want to lose their free ride they had, so they went along with Elizabeth and her father, illegal George VI. And what they did to my father and to me and my children here in this country, stood by and watched it and helped. So anyway, back to Carol Rogers Simon, who's still living in Edinburgh, in Roanoke, retirement HUD. She said to me back then, she said, "You're paying for what?" And she's a meanie. Oh, she's done nothing but lie. She told me that I was paying for the crimes that were committed by my family against the Jews. Well, she's meaning chemicals, and that's what's been used on me. And this whole thing gets into mind control that I was writing about, and then finding out about who I am in '83. Um, and I don't want to get the point of this lost in the video here, but there's a question of when mind control was really being used, because King Ferdinand was the person that shot him was programmed to shoot him. And then, there's a whole list of murders that happened, taking out the monarchs and replacing it really with the United States, the Freemasons, the Illuminati, who are your global government now that's in charge. They used it after they kidnapped me in '43. It started the UN, the United Nations. Now they're the ones that's handing out the laws and who does what and takes all the immigrants and goes in and does this, but they're acting under the orders of the Illuminati, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Kennedys, Elizabeth. She's sitting up there living good. She should be prosecuted, her and Charles. And they were on TV the other day, William. They look so cute. And my money and my hell and taking out my country, they should be prosecuted, and only God can do it. Now I'm getting off and losing track of what I was trying to say, which is, I was out at Larry Flint's because he was shot, the person programmed to shoot him, and I was writing about mind control. So now I'm going to turn it back to him, and this is going to go out. They endorsed me April of '84. I'd run in a political campaign to replace Larry McDonald, who was a U.S. Congressman doctor. He was one of the cases in a medical malpractice book I tried to get published and was almost killed. I should have died, gone in a coma and died, but somehow I lived, was illegally taken across the state line to Huntsville, Alabama, where a few months later, in the condition I was in, I passed a background check by Sheriff Patterson and worked for the District Attorney, Madison County District Attorney Fred Simpson in Huntsville in 1980, and that's when John Lennon was shot, and Mark David Chapman was programmed to shoot him. So these murders that I've spoken of, Virginia Tech next door to me, mass shootings, and I wanted to mention this. This is Yen Zoring. His father was a German diplomat at the time, and he and Elizabeth were students at the University of Virginia here next door to me, and this is where Anastasia was lived, and she is my cousin, and she was Czar Nicholas's daughter. Now then, in case I've missed anything here, if I can get this on, Flint did an endorsement, and he said that I knew who was responsible for his killing of his attorney in Lawrenceville. I was doing the book in Marietta at the time, living at Moonraker Apartments. This is my sons Mark and Scott. Now, Mark is heir after me, and then Scott would be, well, I don't even want to go there because I don't even know if they're alive. This is a family that I was placed and grew up in, and believe me, they didn't look this dressed up. This was no cars. It was a pigsty. Now, I'm going to get back to this. I have been run by, I have an immune disorder. I'm allergic to chemicals and toxic fumes, and they've been deliberately placed when I've had a place to live, and over the years it's just about taken out my lungs, kidneys, if it hasn't already. I'm 77 years old. By the way, the birth certificate's on the twins. They gave me the name of the twin. The state of Alabama even marked through the birth dates that they were born and put the date that was given me that I grew up using, and that's illegal. So it's almost a sick joke what they can do and get away with it. And they're having fun doing it, too. So this is one of the murders, and you just had the president up in Fairfax last night talking about gun control. This was done with a butcher knife, programmed, and you can do a single murder. They can program an army now. And all of this with your rifles and all this, Columbine, going back to the Texas uh,